Today on Ask Dr. Lori, we're talking about protein. And I know protein's a big factor in a healthy diet. And some people might say if 20 grams of protein is good, 40 grams of protein is better. So if one's good, two's better. Is that the case when it comes to protein?
We have to be very careful, Dave, with protein. I think we're in a society where we're into very much so the excessive amounts. So if a little bit is good, then a large amount is better. And right now what we're dealing with is if you go on Instagram and you go on anybody's accounts, Facebook accounts, whatever it may be, you're going to see that bigger is better as far as men are trying to bulk up. Women are trying to get more fit, so they're combining them, going into fitness competitions. So they're trying to get more lean muscle. And there's a difference between those people who are trying to gain lean muscle or men who are bodybuilders trying to bulk up and get more protein to the average American who's trying to use this for weight loss and going into, say, like an Atkins diet with a low carb type of situation to where they're trying to just go for weight loss. So that might not necessarily be the best thing for the average American who's just doing this as a weight loss tool. So that's where we need to know when is too much, and what are some of the side effects that we can deal with. Being a pharmacist again, we have to look at what are the side effects of too much protein.
Are there things that are going to happen that people will recognize, like, that's a clear signal or a red flag that I've taken in too many grams of protein on this certain day?
There are some really good telltale signs, and I've actually experienced a few of these myself. And so, coming from a place of I know what this feels like, or I've had people make comments, and I'll not. Some of these are going to be some embarrassing things, but it's okay to bring it up. I'm not shy when it comes to talking about bodily functions. That's what I do for a living. So one of the things that people will notice right off the bat, if you eat too much protein, is that your bodily excretions will start smelling differently. So right off the bat, people will start noticing that around you. They're going to notice that either your breath is going to smell a little funky or your body odor starts smelling differently. So maybe you might have worse body odor and worse breath. So this is a product of, if you think about it, carbs and fruits and highly fibrous vegetables you wouldn't think they would cause a stench coming from your gut that would cause you to have bad breath. But foods that are like protein that are hard to break down in your gut are actually going to, quote unquote, ferment or even putrefy in your gut if your gut's not working appropriately. And that's what you're starting to smell. So no amount of breath mints or brushing your teeth is going to get rid of the stench because it's coming from your gut. So that's one of the signs. Maybe if people around you will tell you about that one, 'cause sometimes we can't do it ourselves.
Yeah.
But the body odor one is actually one that you might notice, to where either you're going to sweat more or you notice that the smell is not quite as rosy as you would like it to be. So people who are low carbing typically have this issue.
As far as the other odors or sounds coming from our bodies, let's say you're passing gas, I'll be blunt about it. Is that an indicator that you've had too much protein?
It can very well be. And actually, the other problem that we can run into is that patients or people who eat too much might not have the ability to pass gas because eating too much protein can tax your system so much to where you end up having low fiber, because people typically doing this are doing low fiber and they're getting constipated. So passing gas would be a good thing because at least you're not getting an impacted bowel. But if you are not and you're getting extremely constipated, this is one of the side effects of too much protein as well. Because typically people who are going way high in the protein spectrum, way low on the carbohydrates are not getting enough fiber. And in order for optimal health, we know we want to have between 25 to 35 grams of fiber. Now, some schools of thought in the natural medicine world say up to 50 grams of fiber per day for optimal functioning. But people typically doing these diets do not get those range of that much fiber in their diet.
People talk about taking a pill to combat, let's say, first thing that comes to mind is Beano. Hey, I went and had some Mexican food. I'm gonna take some Beano to avoid the gas because I'm taking in too many beans, which means too much protein. Is that true? Is that a fact? Is that not?
Well, there's a lot of things that can actually cause that, Dave. One of the things could be a poorly functioning gut. When you start taking in excess, like protein, you were talking about beans, but yes, that can happen. Beans actually, that's a whole nother topic. That those contain lectins, which we don't digest appropriately in the first place, and because we're not digesting them appropriately as they're going through the system, that again is in that putrefaction category, to where they're just releasing gases as they're being broken down, because you're not actually absorbing those. With the protein, we're trying to absorb it. Your body is struggling trying to break down the protein into usable amino acids that we can absorb for energy, and also to build lean muscle. But if we don't have the enzyme process that we need to break those down, if we don't have the stomach acid in our stomach, which some people suffer from immensely, to not have enough stomach acid to break it down, that protein is going to just sit like a ball in your gut, and it's going to feel like it has a really hard time going through. So people don't even realize that those symptoms, especially when you go to a higher protein diet that you're not used to, they're not used to seeing those kind of symptoms. And so they might have to start taking laxatives to try to help move things along, and just notice they feel really dehydrated, really fatigued. And that's the other thing too. All of that protein in your system, you think about a fruit and how fast your body, like a banana. A banana goes straight in, you feel the energy from it, you know it's a fast-acting sugar, and you're going to get that effect right away. That doesn't happen with protein. It takes longer. It's a longer process. Your body has to break it down. It takes a huge amount of energy for your body to break down protein into usable energy. And so you might get fatigued. People might feel like they need to take a nap. It's kind of that, after you eat turkey on turkey day, you have to lay down and take a nap because you ate so much of it. That's why. Your body has to digest this, and it's causing you to actually slow down and get more fatigued. And if you're an athlete and doing this, you don't want that fatigue. You don't want to be having to take a nap in the middle of the afternoon. But I experienced this myself because I was eating, normally what I do was 60 to 80 grams of protein a day. And when I was competing in a fitness competition, which I was trying to gain lean muscle, and I was being, again, disclaimer, being followed by a trainer and a nutritionist to make sure that I didn't get into danger zones. When you're consuming high amounts of protein, you should have somebody helping you, like a nutritionist or somebody counseling you through this. I was eating closer to 150 grams of protein a day. And that's a lot of protein, but my objectives, again, were different. I was trying to gain lean muscle, where the average American wants to just lose weight. So getting in that high amount of protein really is not the best thing for those people. And that's one of the other things that can happen. Your doctor might tell you that your kidney function is starting to look bad. And your kidneys now have to, with protein, what happens when protein's broken down is it causes nitrogen to be released. And your kidneys have to cycle through all this nitrogen that's going through it. And the average amount of protein is fine, but when it's excessive, that causes your kidneys to have to work overtime. And that could actually lead to kidney failure if you're not careful. So again, you need somebody who is very skilled in doing this with you.
I feel like we're just scratching the surface on this topic. If someone wanted to talk to you more in the future, what would the best course of action to be? Because you can consult people on this topic.
Yes, I actually do consultations for people on nutrition, and so they can contact me directly. So the best way to do that is through the website, the www.healyourselfbeautiful.com, and they can actually just kind of send me a request and get back to me. And there's many ways through the website that they can connect with me. So we can do Skype interviews. I can reach anybody from across the country, just like what we're doing right now, which is actually kind of unique. So that's the best way to do this. Don't try to do this by yourself.
And if you have a topic you want discussed in this format, leave a comment on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube using the hashtag AskDrLori. And with that, thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.